Check. This thing going.
Love to love you, baby. Good morning.
Wake up.
First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
Hey.
Okay. You mean to tell me the tech is all working today?
Okay. Just like the song said, wow.
You appreciate the good days.
Hey.
Welcome. Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Hall B, Buddi3 Da Gawd. All chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners. It is Friday, February 2nd, 2024. Still getting over paying that rent yesterday. Excuse me.
Good times.
Welcome. Appreciate everybody getting up early with us this morning. I already got a shout out from the radio listeners, the Club 630.
Hey.
Beth says the music keeps getting better and better. I appreciate you, Beth. Thank you.
Vibrations.
It's going down. Kimber Snipes is up early. Gives us a good morning, y'all. What's happening over there on YouTube?
Top of the morning to you.
Man, got Ronnie Shields all the way in from Cali. What's going on, bro?
From the west side with love.
He said good everything, First Sky fam. I heard that.
Yeah. It's still nighttime. That's why over there on the West Coast. And good night, good morning, good everything.
Good everything. That's right. What's going on, Bozak? Man, Judy Prinsley in the house says good morning. Get outside and enjoy this beautiful weather. You know I'm out here soaking this sun up.
Oh, okay. It's been decent out there.
It's been decent, man. I feel like I've turned the corner because before, if it was 54 degrees, I would have said that's a California winter. I got to get my coat.
Yeah, at least a light jacket.
Now I'm running outside in a t-shirt like the sun is out. So I guess I've been here too long.
Sunshine.
Pops gives us a good morning, my First Sky fam, and supreme love from Las Vegas.
Hey.
Yeah, appreciate you, Pops. That love supreme. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. Good morning, Wanda Lewis. How you doing? Lake Keister is in the house. Man, you want to go for it, buddy?
Yeah. I haven't tried. Me. Okay, you want to put that on the screen so the people can see it with me?
Let's do that.
All right, y'all. Leia Keister says, "Happy Fry, yippee, 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 yo, yo, yay, yippee, yo, yay."
Yeah, you're a pro. See, I just need to let you do it every time.
Ha!
I'll be fumbling on the third yo, but man, appreciate you coming in. Leia Keister, you gotta let us know. She got the podcast. Swing left, and we gotta know who your next guest is. What y'all talking about? Let's talk about it.
Swing left.
Ronnie Shields says he said groundhog did not see his shadow. Okay, yeah.
Okay, was it Poxitani Field? Is that the name? That's the groundhog.
Man,
when is Groundhog Day? When is that?
How much you want to bet somebody named their kid Punxsutawney?
Oh man, I would not be surprised.
Some kid is out there named that
Punxsutawney Johnson.
It's all about the kids today too, man. Punxsutawney Johnson. It would have to be Johnson too, huh? Oh man. Yeah, man, it's about the kids. It's about the kids today. We definitely gonna be talking a little bit about the kids. Our governor doesn't believe in welfare, so he's denying a bunch of money.
What's that that comment the Iowa governor made that you always reference about the hammock?
Yeah, man. She says we don't want our state, we don't want our safety net to become a hammock.
Yeah, that part.
Man. Like people don't need help.
Man.
Like people don't need help.
Man, what again, that brings me, what is the point of government? Like what is your job?
Bruh.
And man, this kind of goes back to the whole LB 1024, which is a whole nother thing. But like government really acts like they're doing us favors. Like we pay taxes. Your job is to manage the taxes that we pay. We're working. We're paying. This is our country. Why does government act like they're doing us favors?
Buddy for legislature 2026.
Don't put that on me.
You
Don't
don't
put
want
that
that.
on me.
You don't want that
Nah,
room.
nah. I seen again. I watched. Shout out to Senator Wayne go through the Obama effect. He came in, no beard, just the mustache and the little chin hairs, all black, everything. Now he full beard, gray. Yeah.
Look, man, I got news for you, bro. You got 3 kids. You going to grade one way or another. You might as well go out for Omaha. Thank God it's Friday. First Sky family, Marlon Harrison is giving us some shout outs. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, real cool on YouTube. Good morning, newbie here. Watched last
Hey.
week, like the vibes. Appreciate that.
Okay. Hey, we'll tell your peoples to come on through too. We're gonna talk
Yeah.
about some things.
That's what's up. Appreciate you coming on through. Yeah, vibes is what we try to have here. So I'm glad.
Yeah,
you
man. Vibrations.
Leia Keister's giving you a round of applause for your beautiful delivery. Ronnie Shields, that boy good. Today Groundhog Day.
Oh, today? Okay.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Didn't see
Okay.
the shadow, so I don't know what that means. More winter. I forgot what it means, man.
Yeah, I think like two more weeks of winter.
Gotta go ask what's his name? Ponce Tucky. What's his name?
I guess Tamika don't want him a part of the family. She said, "Don't put that groundhog in my family."
Yeah, I don't
Tamika
know.
Johnson. You know that's your cousin. You know that's your cousin. Ponce Tony Johnson.
Ponce Tony Johnson. She don't want that. We don't know about that groundhog. They got when you think about it, man, there's some strange traditions out here.
Man.
America be getting. There'd be whole news articles on while people are dying. They got news articles on a groundhog come out, see a shadow.
It does make you think, like, how does a tradition like that even start? Like somebody watching a groundhog, like, oh,
Easy.
2 more weeks of winter.
Easy, man.
Easy.
That stuff happens all the time. It's just what trips me out is how it be going national. We got our own little traditions on stuff. You know what I'm saying? Jazz record is playing, the drum solo happens, and me and my family all be quiet so we can listen to the drum solo.
Okay.
It turned into a thing. We got more other people doing it. You know what I'm saying? But how does it become a national? You know what I'm saying? Like
How's it spread?
how you get on the news with your little funny traditions?
You and your groundhog going to news.
Somebody had a groundhog named Ponce Tucky. What's his name again?
Poxitani.
Ponce Tony Johnson in the house. Kimber Snipes says that vote by the county commissioners was not a swing to the left when they got rid of public comment. You should have them on and ask them about it. Yeah, man, we need to. You're absolutely right. We definitely need to have them on and ask them about it for sure. That vote by the county commissioners was not a swing to the left when they got rid of public comment. So the county commissioners did that. Didn't realize.
Yeah. That was the county.
Man, dude.
Douglas, to be exact.
Yeah, man. Kimber Snipes says he believes in corporate welfare, talking about Pillen. Pillen don't believe in welfare when it comes to helping kids eat lunch.
Man.
Apparently. Guillermo Enrique Pina Valaderas is in the house cracking up. He says, good morning. Good morning to you as well. Appreciate everybody coming in this morning, man. We're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. You guys stumbled into a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Man, it is the 2nd of February.
Man.
Black History Month. We'll talk about it.
Hey.
Yeah, it's going down. What up? Good morning. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yes, Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you. We're happy it's Friday, I guess. It's going down. I don't know what you guys got going on this weekend. We have an extensive halves coming up this show for sure. Definitely some things to be talking about. Yes, things to be talking about. Lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff in the news. Thanks for everybody who's putting things in Friends of First Sky Omaha. If you're new here, by the way, what we do is kind of go through the news and speak on the subjects, find out what you, the community, have to think and say about these things. And when we're not on live, the conversation continues on a Facebook group page called Friends of First Sky Omaha. So definitely go check that out.
Yep.
And if you have any news articles or anything you want to post, you can put those in there so we can talk about it. And that's how we do it. So we appreciate everybody coming in. We use the chat as if we're speaking face to face. So no trolls, no side comments. It's a family show. We try to have a good vibe here so we can really get down to some discussion. So
Yeah.
appreciate everybody.
Conversation.
And we can't do without you, people in the chat. We call you guys the chat chimers because you chime in on these subjects. And we also got many ghost listeners that don't chime into the chat but still listen and spread the word. So we appreciate all of you. If you miss any parts of this show, you can always go back and check it out on Facebook and YouTube. And when you do, go ahead and dig into the chat, the comments, because there's a lot of good information that people have there. Good comments, good information. You guys act as our fact checkers sometimes. You act as our researchers. So we really love the relationship that we have with you, the chat chimers. We appreciate you guys coming on. Kimber Snipe says, how about the chief of police getting sued again? Didn't hear about this.
Yeah, that's news to me.
Breaking news to us. Let us know. Let us know about it. Give us a link. Tony Johnson in the chat says, rip Black Eagle of Radio Joe Madison. Okay. R.I.P. Rest in peace. Excuse me.
Is that a band or I'm not familiar?
Not familiar. Yeah. Let us know. Let us know who that is. I'm not familiar who that is, but rest in peace, whoever it is. We know. Yeah. we hate that bad news. Ronnie Shields in the chat says, hit that like button, family. Appreciate that. Yes. On YouTube, definitely hit that like button. Kimmer Snipe says, keep in mind that vote was because of 3 people, talking about the vote to get rid of public comments.
Douglas County.
Miss she said the symposium was good. Panel with Leo and Chrome Lewis, Roscoe Wallace, Lavelle Wells, and Tamika Meese.
Okay.
Willie Barney facilitated. Leo shed tears. It was a moment. Okay.
Man, shout out to Leo Lewis, good brother. Really, the Lewis brothers, Leo and Chrome.
Yeah, there's they're doing some things. Shout out to the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation in particular. Really, this year of growth. Congratulations on getting some funds, and I'd love to see what's going to happen there for sure. It is Black History Month. Yeah. So we us. We like it's Black History all year, but it's nationally Black History Month, I suppose. Preston Love put up a nice graphic so we can talk about it. He says the Black History Month we remember the tireless fight for civil rights, a fight I've proudly been a part of. Our country has struggled to live up to its promise that all men are created equal, and we will never give up until justice and equality are truly achieved. So there you go. Words from the elder Preston Love Jr., who is running for U.S. Senate, and talking about what's going on here. Black History Month got some great figures on this photo here, and there's John Lewis. You know what I'm saying? With his good trouble. I love that kind of stuff, man. Jesse Jackson been in the game for a long time. So that's what's up, man. Appreciate that. It is for everybody else to kind of remember what's going on as far as Black history is concerned. At least we get a month.
Man,
so, that's what's up.
Yeah, because I'm living it every day.
Every day. Senator Terrell McKinney said it's Black History Month, and I have a hearing today on creating reparations task force in Nebraska. Perfect timing.
I almost feel like he did that on purpose.
Man, wonder if he playing that out.
Yeah. Shout out to Senator McKinney. Might have to get some more info on that on Monday. Also, if anybody made it to his housing hearing that was earlier this week, we'd definitely love to hear from that.
Most def. Kimmer said we got ghost chat chimers.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, ghost chat chimers. I like that. I guess we do have some of those. Tony Johnson said one of the pioneers of Black radio news and commentary shows like this one. Really?
Okay. I'm gonna have to do some research. Put me on game.
Yeah, that's what's up. Black Eagle of Radio Joe Madison. Okay, we have to check it out. Definitely.
Okay. I get what you said. Calling him the Black Eagle.
Say that again.
He was calling Joe Madison the Black Eagle of radio.
Got it.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Appreciate the education there. We're definitely looking him up. Let's see. Brother Valadero says Shirley Chisholm, still my lady. She's awesome. Yeah, that's what I was looking at too. Shirley Chisholm, first Black woman run for president. She really opened some doors up. I love listening to her speak when I look at old footage and stuff like that. It's really a trip. It's really a trip. So yeah, I love that. I love those images. Really make you recall, some of your memories about learning about Black history, learning about stuff that came before us, all that good stuff. Trip. Excuse me. Marianne Williams in the chat saying, "Good morning. Did anyone catch the reparations hearing yesterday? I had to miss it and can't find it recorded. Didn't catch it myself
Nope.
either. Nope.
Nope.
So anybody who caught that, let us know how that went. And of course, we'll have Brother McKinney on Monday, so he can tell us firsthand what went down. So
Man.
yeah, appreciate all that, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, we'll love to hear it. We'll love to hear it again. The senators, which we actually will have a few stories about them today. They're hitting the ground running, man, in this short session. They're putting in the work and not stopping. So definitely big ups to them. But yeah, man, Senator McKinney in specifically making history, man. Again, talking about the fact that nobody else has really done what they were able to accomplish through LB 1024,
Mhm.
and now the only other state that I hear that's working on a reparations commission is California. So again, hopefully Nebraska leading the charge, and Nebraska on the front end of some good things. Again, we always talk about our prison overcrowding, which we will be getting into, and Nebraska being quote unquote the Mississippi of the Midwest, leading in the wrong direction for the wrong reasons. Hopefully we can lead in some good, man. Reparations.
Yep, yep.
Might need to just donate a whole episode to that. Just dedicate a whole episode to talk about reparations.
Good idea. It's a good idea. We definitely have some ideas that we're going to try out here. This is season 7,
Yeah, man.
kind of the season of creativity. It is the theme is the love supreme. We know that everything that we do is out of love. Is every motivation that we have to take any action on anything, especially local politics, things that are affecting our lives directly. All come from love. Come from love from the area, love from your family, love from your friends, your
Yeah.
community. That's what it's all about, and that's what season we're in here. It's also you can't do that without being an art soldier, without being a creative. So we definitely are going to be trying some things out to get the message out to even more people. We're looking at expanding our TikTok here coming up. So we'll start talking about some of the things that we're going to be doing, just to kind of get the word out and talk to folks, get reach people where they're at. That's kind of what this whole thing is about. So we're definitely going to do some of that, and maybe and hopefully even this year cover some more of these things. She said, "I
Yeah.
thought y'all just said the hearing was today." I don't know if the which are you talking about the
I'm about the
reparation hearing?
reparations hearing.
That was a flyer that he put up that Terrell McKinney put up earlier. He put that up, I believe, yesterday.
Yep. 2/1/24.
2/1/24. So
12:50 p.m.
beginning of Black History Month. That was yesterday. So anybody saw that hearing, let us know. And again, we'll talk to Senator McKinney about it when he comes on Monday. Before we start jumping into the show and into the subjects, didn't really get to ask you how you doing today, buddy. What's going on with you?
Man, yeah. I'm kind of on the tail end of this cold. Again, hashtag kids be dirty.
Kids be dirty.
Feeling it in my chest. So, I got my tea on deck.
Move
Yeah.
from the sinus to the chest now, huh?
Yeah. Breathing it in while I'm sleeping things. So,
Well, you
yeah,
ain't got to tell me.
trying to clear that out. I know you, man, sinus man,
That's my life right there.
Yeah, I feel like when I first met you, you had the trench coat. You need a Zyrtec.
What you need? What you need?
What you need? I got you. So
Zerk
yeah,
in the
man,
trail.
dealing with that. But other than that, man, feeling excited, feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. Just it's interesting because but a lot of people talk about their morning routine, what they're gonna get up
Mm-hmm.
and do. Do some yoga, some meditation, like you do.
Yep, got my
Drinking
meditation
some
on.
drinking some coffee. Whatever it is that your morning routine is. Mark Manor or Chad Chama Mark Manor, he gets up and goes for walks in the morning. Man, tries to see the sunrise, and so on and so forth. So it's interesting what people have, but really you should pay attention to your night routine. That's really where
That's where it
things
starts.
will start coming together a little bit better. Yeah, like so.
Mm-hmm.
That's my weakness right there. Is my night routine. I got to get that together. So
Yeah,
that's
man.
what I'm working on now. Try to get enough sleep in the evening. Try not to eat too late. Wind things down, wind the house down. I like to clean the house up before. You know what I'm saying? So I got some
Mm-hmm.
ideas about what my night routine is going to be, but I just got to implement it. So because I'm tired this morning. Tired.
Man, he tired,
Yeah.
boss. He tired. Yeah, man. Yeah, if you're not sleeping well and you try to wake up, and it's just all downhill from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily, you, the chat chimers, and this show keeps me up and awake, gets me alert, gets me ready to go for the day. So,
Man, excited.
and can't help you, can't thank you enough for helping that be the case. Rick Fulton in the chat. Good morning, Rick Fulton. He says, was at a meeting with Juanita Johnson last Monday, and somebody at the meeting said her elderly mother was facing eviction from her house because of the airport park fiasco, keeping them in the dark. What a fiasco. It will never happen. Wasted $90 million.
Man, I don't
We
know if it
is
will never happen, but a fiasco indeed.
it may not happen the way we wanted it to happen, but
Right.
I think after Pillen got up and said something about it, it will. So
Yeah.
yeah, but we'll get to that another day. Today we got some things to definitely talk about that's pretty timely and relevant. Buddy, you want to go through the list of things that we're going to be talking about today?
Yeah, man. In this here Black History Month, we're gonna talk a little bit about some freedom, man. Again, still in the midst of a federal overcrowding emergency in Nebraska, and there's some entities, some individuals looking to address that. Actually, both UNO and UNL working to address that.
Mm.
UNO just released a study saying that there might be a path for Nebraska to not have to build another prison, which has been a heavy topic of conversation the last couple of years. Again, a lot of debate on what's going on in Lincoln. Right now, there is a plan to build another 1,500 bed prison on the north end of Lincoln that may or may not lead to the closing of Nebraska State. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, there's some other options to alleviate the overcrowding. Also, UNL's College of Law working on a Innocence project, which could go to exonerate maybe some 300 individuals, as this article states, who were falsely imprisoned. So big issue, and another way that could possibly alleviate overcrowding in the state. Also, still paying attention what's going on in the session. It seems like taxes is a big topic of conversation. We kind of went over a few tax credits last episode, and now more tax credits being debated. Actually, on a federal level, the Biden administration pushing a child tax credit, which has expanded, and also a business tax breaks that could be coming. So definitely want to talk to you about that, especially those of you who have babies at home. But also here in Nebraska, what's going on with this $18 million in federal food funds that Governor Pillen is objecting to? Again, this could also help a lot of families struggling to put food on the table. Again, $18 million in federal food funds could help. Of course, the dynamic duo, Senators Wayne and McKinney, in the middle of this fight. So we'll definitely be talking about this bill coming up. And then also sales tax is in the middle of things. Apparently, there's a group that's lining up to oppose a new sales tax that could impact businesses, agricultural, even the Omaha Zoo and advertising.
Hashtag kids be dirty.
Hashtag kids be dirty, pardon itself. But even advertising in the state. So we'll definitely be talking about that. Also, election season is upon us. Actually, I had the pleasure of sitting with brother Anthony Rogers White, who again is leading one of the 4 individuals leading the Dr. Cornel West campaign. And even locally, there's a few that are making some waves. Tony Vargas, again, making waves as a national challenger for the Democratic congressional office. So we'll definitely be talking about that. And then also Carol Blood stepping up. So we'll definitely be talking about some of those things as far as voting, election season. And as always, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to drop that in the chat. Let us know. Let your mind be free. More importantly, let your voice be heard.
There you go. Appreciate everybody jumping to the chats going off already this morning. Tony Johnson said yet another year of letting Pillen not doing a Black History Month proclamation. Well, I don't know if he cares too much about it, but
Yeah, what type of proclamation would you like to?
Yeah,
what is he going to proclaim?
Well, he probably should. He's been saying a lot, so he probably ought to get on and at least acknowledge this Black History Month. He was. I did see him yesterday on NET talking about this whole 2030 reentry situation. So we're one of 4, I believe, four states that are implementing this new situation here where they're trying to rehabilitate inmates so that they don't have recidivism, they don't go back into the prisons and so on.
Jim and Gout.
Right, right. We can get into that a little bit, but he was it was kind of interesting what they were talking about there, and what it seems like they care about, what it seems like they don't care about when it comes to these things. We'll get into it. Terry Crawford in the chat says, "Good morning, First Sky fam. Everybody in the winner's circle are not trying to see you win. Be vigilant. Be vigilant." Wow,
Mm,
wow, good message.
okay.
Appreciate that. Kimmer Snipe says, "I guess the whack crew won't be taking Paul to the motorcycle club no more on a Tuesday."
Ah,
Well, listen, we can do that. You just gonna have to come on to the show on Wednesday with me. That's how we'll work that out.
that part.
Women's Wednesday coming back. Brother Valadero says, sad we report prisons and not schools. So sad. Pipeline needs broken. He said, what business? He is saying he's not a welfare recipient. Wow. Yeah, talking about Pillen, who was opposed this millions of dollars in
Yeah, man.
aid that's coming from a national program that was going to help kids, families buy food and stuff like that for kids during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And he straight up and got national attention for this was like, I don't believe in welfare. Interesting how they use those terms and words when, like Brother Valadares is saying, corporate welfare seems to be
Man,
okay. They don't want to call it that, but you get a lot of tax. I mean, he's got one of the biggest pig farms in the Midwest, and he's and it's not been any secret that there's been all kinds of moves and things happening there in order to make that business easier.
right.
So is what it is. But yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that for sure. Tony Johnson said, "Free Ernest Jackson." You ain't lying.
Man,
We still talking about Ernest Jackson. Yeah, most def. As a matter of fact, speaking of Ernest Jackson, here's a flyer about how to advocate. They still got it going on here in order to be trying to be in the fight of trying to help him get out. So definitely check that out. We'll put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha. There's things you can do, places you can call, and letters you can write in order to be able to keep on fighting for the freedom of Ernest Jackson. For those who don't know, he's in prison. He's been in prison for a while over
man.
a crime that wasn't a crime. That didn't turn out to be a crime. It didn't
Yeah.
happen, and they won't let him out. Von Chapman in the chat says, "Let my people go will alleviate prison overcrowding in Nebraska." We always talk about overcrowding. We're one of I think it was number one state now for overcrowding, right?
Yeah, we go back and forth 1 and 2 between us and Alabama.
Yeah. So yeah, let my people go. Most definitely, we need to talk about that. It will. I don't think that they're keen to be letting anybody out of prison anytime
No,
soon.
no, then yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Christy Nora in the chat says, "Y'all, we are getting an early spring. Yeah,
Okay.
everybody's happy about this 54 degrees out here.
And this groundhog.
Ponce Tuna. I can't even remember his name. Consul Tucky Smith. Tanaya Patterson says, who can make him proclaim anything is the question. Certainly not a single digit black state population.
No. Mm,
Tell the truth.
mm.
Tell the truth.
Shame the devil.
7:28 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, thank you for all of your comments. We're gonna go ahead and jump into some stories.
Yeah, man.
And can't wait to hear what you guys got to say about some of these things that have been in the news, buddy. What you thinking?
Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this prison situation. Kind of it seems to be heavy on people's minds. I'm definitely along with Brother Tony Johnson saying free Ernest Jackson,
Mm,
which some people are saying should be at the top of this list coming out of UNL. If you
mm,
haven't heard, UNL, the UNL College of Law is looking to help reduce Nebraska's incarceration rate, which again is and has been the top 1 or 2 overcrowded prison systems. Not Texas, not California, not Florida, Nebraska has
mm.
been the most overcrowded prison in the nation for quite some years, actually. Now, and yeah, to Paul's point, it does not look like the powers that be, quote unquote, are really interested in letting anybody out. But hopefully, these latest moves will go towards that. UNL recently received a $600,000 grant from the U.S. Department of Justice to support the Innocence Clinic, and actually Nebraska's 10th clinical program. Third-year law students will work alongside the Midwest Innocence Project in this clinic to identify wrongfully convicted individuals. The grant funding will assist in moving more than 41 cases that have been on a wait list and moving them forward. In Nebraska, more than 5,500 people are currently incarcerated in over 10 state prisons. According to data from the Prison Policy Initiative and the U.S. Department of Justice, the state's incarceration rate is among the highest in the nation. Again, one or two, depending on when you look at the numbers.
Mm.
According to Richard Moberly, who's the dean of College of Law, he says our clinical programs help students develop skills that they will rely on in practice. The Innocence Clinic will contribute to training the next generation of Nebraska lawyers as they learn about the causes of wrongful conviction and experience case identification and litigation of actual innocent claims. According to UNL studies that were published within the past decades, there is an estimate between 4 to 6% of innocent people incarcerated in U.S. prisons. For Nebraska, again, that would mean about 300 people are currently serving sentences for crimes they did not commit. And again, I would even go on a limb and say that could be higher. To date, there have only been about 10 exonerations in Nebraska history. 6 of them actually came from one case known now infamously as the Buddi3 6, in which that was the case back in the 80s. In 89, when 6 individuals were wrongfully convicted of a rape and murder that occurred in 1985. Again, those 6 were eventually exonerated, and that has kind of been the biggest exoneration case in Nebraska. But again, those in the chat, those who are commenting on Friends of First Sky about this, are also pointing to the story in case of Brother Ernest Jackson, who we've actually spoke to the lawyer who's helping the family with this case. And he's reminded us again that this brother, as Paul mentioned, is serving time now over 20 years for a crime that didn't happen. It's not even a crime that he didn't commit. It didn't happen. It wasn't a crime. The actual gunman was recognized as it was self-defense. And again, somehow, some way, this person who was really not even, if I'm not mistaken, at the area when the crime happened is still sitting behind bars, and really no movement, no real interest shown from the state to even review his case. And yet here we are. So hopefully Ernest Jackson is at the top of the list, and hopefully this list or this project does go forward. And maybe even after the $600,000 are spent, we can find a way to keep financing something like this.
Man, Rome's reviews. Mayor Sanchez in the chat says had dinner with one of my guys. Found out brother Ed Poindexter was his grandfather and godfather, and my guy was the pallbearer at brother Poindexter's funeral, reminding us that we've had unjust imprisonments, that people been in jail so long they passed away in prison. So
Man.
Yeah, that's not what's up. My brother Valadares is saying, how's the parole board doing? Are they meeting as the law says? It's a good question. We left off on that last season with the senators trying to reform the parole board because they weren't really even showing up to the job. And all that good stuff. Pop says, let my people go. That would be a great T-shirt. Let my people go.
Okay.
Anthony Rogers right in the chat. Good morning.
Hey, peace, brother.
He says one of the highest in the world per capita, talking about overcrowding, not just in the country.
Not just the nation, but the world, Craig. The world.
The world. Tony Johnson says Black Nebraska was going crazy when Rockets did not do it. Talking about Ricketts. Why so lenient with Pillen? I don't know. What resulted in the going? What did they do to go crazy before? Maybe we can
revisit that.
Revisit that, right? Anthony Rogers Wright says the causes of wrongful conviction. Laugh out loud. You don't need a study. You just need to end white supremacy and implicit bias.
There you go.
Good look on that. I'm interested in what you're talking about. I never heard of the Buddi3 6, which is interesting. I'm kind of like looking around and kind of digging into that a little bit. This is
really
in the 80s. And because in what came to my mind is the Central Park Five. Like how many groups of 5 and 6 brothers have been wrongfully convicted of crimes against white people? You know what I'm saying? Like, was that a trend? Was that a trend in the 80s? Is there a San Bernardino 6 somewhere or something going on too?
It's funny you said that because that was kind of the feeling I had. I actually had to do research on it this morning myself. And it wasn't even just 6 men. It was 3 men and 3 women. And they were all white from Buddi3, Nebraska. And the Buddi3 6 are again a group of people who were falsely found guilty in 1989 of the 1985 rape and murder of Helen Wilson in Buddi3, Nebraska. They served prison terms before being exonerated. I'm not sure exactly how long they were exonerated in 2009. So they served about 20 years in prison falsely. Yeah, man.
That is super interesting. Yeah, didn't have never heard anything about that. We got I want to dig into that a little bit. Stephen Abraham's in the chat. Good morning. He says that the parole board is the key to the overcrowding.
Mm.
That's a thought. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
One of many. One of many. We got a few other stories.
Yep. Prompts review says Chicago 7. Yeah, well, what's the Chicago 7 about? See what I'm saying? The media went through a little trend in the 80s. Seemed like to anyway. Anthony Rogers Wright says, "Peace, my brothers. Thanks for the ride, but brother Buddy, we will see you on
the ground next month.
On the ground next month. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Missing these. Yeah. Thanks for coming in again. If you don't know who that is, brothers, one of the team that is behind Brother Cornell West, 2024. Man, you know what I'm saying? What I loved about this situation is is you got somebody to vote for who you feel like voting for, not a lesser of two evils situation. Man. So if you guys didn't know, Dr. Cornell West is running for president 2024. He was just out here last season. We were privileged to be able to hear him speak and hang with him, and yeah. So we have one of his campaign managers in the chat with us today, giving us some information. So shout out to Brother Anthony Rogers Wright. He says, we call them the Exonerated Five. That's right. We don't call them the Central Park Five no more. Exonerated Five. And one of them, Dr. Yusef Salam, is now a member of New York City Council, bro.
Yes. Peace to Brother Salam. Yes.
That's what's up.
Man, what a story. Like, what a story.
Yeah. We're real true. Brother Kasim is in the chat. Says, yes, sir. What's going on? Good morning to you.
Peace.
Yeah, very interesting stuff here. I love you guys' comments here, and I do want to jump back on that idea of the parole board because that is something that we started talking about last season, and some of the work that they are supposed to be doing, and some of the fight that some of the senators were trying to force them to do their jobs and show up for parole meetings and try to help that situation out, because it kind of seemed like they weren't really doing that. It seemed like they were on the side of keeping folks in instead of trying to help folks get out.
I mean, you would think they're not showing up. What are they doing?
It's a good question. So I'll definitely mark that down as a question for the senators when they come on Monday. I'll see where we're at with that, because I think you're right in the chat. Who said that? That was Brother Abraham said parole board is the key to the overcrowding. Mm-hmm. Definitely one of the keys. A big key though.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah,
because we're talking about getting people out. And a lot of people who kind of. Ed Poindexter was a big example of this. A brother who, by all means, kind of fit the eligibility for parole, serving good time. Doing, not really getting in trouble behind bars. Yeah, he was in health. His health was declining. I mean, you would think if somebody was a prime candidate for parole, that Brother Ed Poindexter would be that. But of course, we all seen how that played out. Yeah.
Yep. It is. Yeah, it's definitely worth continuing about here for real.
Yeah, it is. I kind of hear it in your voice, Paul. It's very disheartening and kind of disappointing. But again, we got to keep pushing. And definitely, again, big ups to Senators Wayne and McKinney, who seem to, again, reminding us that prison reform isn't the most sexy bill, as they put it. Not a lot of support out there, but yet they keep on fighting and keep on chugging away. So big shout out to them.
Yep. I see Malik Rogers in the chat is replying to Tanaya Patterson. Did we miss a Tanaya Patterson
comment?
Comment? Yeah, I don't see it. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, it's 7:39 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we appreciate everybody's comments on this. Stephen Abraham says, "Look at who is on the parole board to understand the problem better."
Yep. Good point.
We need to refocus a little energy there for sure. A little more information to find out where we're at in that push to get them to do their job. Basically, is what the senators were saying last season. Do your job, show up. So
at the very least.
Yeah. As you can see, anybody Ghost listeners that is watching this, you can understand where we stand, what the community is saying here about the parole board. Because it has been a problem. So anyway, it's 7:40 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we'll take a quick break and come back and jump into another story. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, that's me. Buddi3 Da Gawd, that's him.
Hey.
All of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us on this Friday, February 2nd. We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. That's right, Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you in the chat going off this morning. Appreciate everybody's comments. Yeah, really appreciate that. Tonight Patterson in the chat. There you go. She says that parole board must get paid to stay home because the absenteeism wouldn't get a student expelled. Would get a student expelled if you're trying that in school.
Man, good point. It's a great example.
Or you fired from any job, any other job.
That part.
Yeah, man. Well, Stephen Abraham says that's why I say to our regular citizens, get involved on these board councils, etc., to make positive, productive change. Yeah. That's one of the goals here. That's one of the things that I'm personally going to get into this year. I've already we had a good meeting with Joaquin Fox last night about the initiatives for Black media that he's got going on here, and going to be on a board with him on some things, and
beautiful.
A couple other boards. We need to kind of have some things to be able to put our input in for sure. So that's what's up. Rome's Review says I think my guy and his people started Mad Dads. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a pretty great organization.
Dope. Mad Dads, that's the organization that was going into schools, dealing with the young folk, making sure the youth are on top of their thing.
Nothing like some men being men and coming in there and making, you know what I'm saying? And,
man.
And leaning on things, making some influence happen and making some change happen. So that's what's up. Appreciate that very much. I'd love to have somebody on from that organization. I always wanted to talk to them, see how the impetus was.
As a dad myself.
Yeah. There you go. And a mad dad at that. Malik Rogers says the senators have been exposing the craziness in the state. Black Nebraska is dropping the ball on mobilizing and actively addressing issues with the information they provide.
Man.
We can do better. We can definitely do better.
We can.
We have to remember that we don't have a lot of the numbers that a lot of other states have. We often do this comparison between Omaha and Atlanta, and both of them are around the same size and around the same population, and but not the same racial makeup for real. Of course, you know it's like the black Mecca out there in Atlanta. So you probably got more black folks than white folks in Atlanta. Out here, we don't have a whole lot of numbers. So it makes it so that we got to do extra work. Really, we got to kind of really represent. A lot of people who might just sit back and let other people lead can't always happen like that. Kind of got to step up and do a thing. So yeah, we got to remember that. Anyway, like I said, appreciate all the comments. 7:44 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, having a pretty lively Friday. Appreciate that. Let us know what you got going on this weekend. We got an extensive haps coming on a little later on in the show. Stay tuned for that. So get your haps together. Let us know what's going on. If there's anything fun happening this weekend, we always talk about the things that we got to do. It's legislative season. We need to keep encouraging people to go up to the legislation and help fight for the bills that you want to fight for and oppose bills you want to oppose. Write letters. Go to the legislature all during the week. Several meetings during the week that are happening all the time that we can talk about. Kimra Snipes is one of these people that attends a lot of them.
Man,
but there's a lot going on. As a matter of fact, I believe Fabric Lab has an event today. Is that today? That's tomorrow. So Saturday, February 3rd, Climate Action Plan and Resilience Plan Community Feedback Session. It's another opportunity for us to speak up. I would personally want to speak up about the coal plant because we've been
Man,
following the situation with the coal plant. Shout out to Dr. Cornell West that came all the way out here to call out the coal plant.
yeah.
And go ahead.
Also, shout out to Chris Baby Boy Bowling, who's again doing a story on asthma, which we have to know is definitely connected to the coal plant and
Man,
some of the climate action things going on in the community.
lots to talk about. Nitrates in the soil. We've been talking
Man,
about.
lead.
We've been talking about lead for years. Nitrates is a new one on me, and it's especially poignant right now because a lot of those nitrates come from pig farms. We so
Pillen's
happen
pig farms.
we so happen to have a governor that owns a big one.
Yeah,
So
the biggest.
the biggest, right? Yeah, yeah. So shout out to everybody that attends these meetings and comes back and reports things. Really appreciate that, especially Kimber Snipes who does it all the time for us. But we also want to hear about some fun things that are happening. And what are you doing to take a break? This good
Man,
brother, you planning on going out to downtown, the downtown area where everybody's hanging out at these days when the weather gets good. Seems to be working out pretty well. I was kind of skeptical when they were draining the Gene Leahy Mall and all that. And you know what I'm saying? And I was
have you
like,
been
well,
down there yet?
not to really hang out, but I've been down there doing stuff like at the Holland and other appointments around there. And every time I
Okay.
pass by and see folks hanging out, I'm like, okay, that's what's up. Pavilion,
Yeah.
music, live music, stuff for the kids to do.
Yep. Yep.
Benches in just areas you can just sit and chill.
Little
So
areas you can sit and play chess in the park like it's New York or something.
come on with it. Come on
Yeah,
with
took the babies down there, man. They enjoyed it. Still got the big slides for all of you who remember that. They
it.
still
Yep.
there.
Big slides. You better not take them big slides out. They already took that Omaha graphic off the side of that one building. That
Yeah,
iconic.
yeah,
Yeah, I was like, what are y'all
yeah,
doing,
yeah, yeah. More changes to come to that area though. They're
bro?
still developing, still building.
When Mutual Omaha building goes up and blocks out all the sun, we'll see how that little
Mhm.
area fares then.
That's a good point. That's a good point. We will see.
Yeah, just looming and shadowing over everything. Kimber Snipes says it's not about the projects; it's about the lack of engagement and communication about projects. Yeah,
Yep.
I think you're absolutely right about that for sure. Stephen Abraham Malik having a conversation. When you say Black Nebraska, are you referring to specific people in power that represent the Black peoples of Nebraska? This is a good. I don't mean to interrupt y'all's conversation, but that's a good question.
Hmm.
We actually discussed that last night at the meeting with Jaqueen. It was a question that we passed around the table. What is Black Omaha?
Mm.
Who is Black Omaha?
Yeah.
And it's an interesting conversation. Brother Kasim was there as well. Of course, he talked a lot about Pan Africanism and so what they represent there, which I kind of really gravitate to as well.
Mhm.
Anybody in the diaspora that considers themselves Black, that's here for the Black community. I think of legacy families in North Omaha. I definitely think of North Omaha. I think of a area, even though we were already figured out that there's many Black people in many areas of
Oh
Nebraska
yeah.
in Omaha, not just in North. So it's an interesting question, and it is definitely something I said, man, we can have a 2-day symposium on that question right there. So interesting, interesting stuff to talk about. Marlon Harrison says Jim's Rib Haven is back open for business, and I heard
Hey,
the line was wrapped around the corner yesterday. You know it. You know it. You know
man.
it is wrapped around the corner. It is. Matter of fact, there it is, wrapped around the corner. I love how Omaha, North Omaha, just be in. They just will stop. They just make a lane in the street.
Hmm.
We're just gonna cut this whole lane off on the main street and make it a line
Same thing at Abelardo's. Line be all in the street.
in the street.
Yep, right there on 60th and Ames, all up in the street. Remember
Surprised-
when timeout opened back up?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just skip work altogether. Like don't
bro!
even just don't even go on work.
When timeout opened up, it was like a line all the way back to the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation
Yeah, man.
trying to get in and wrapped around the corner. It was a trip. Same thing here with Jim's Rib. I don't blame him though, man. I was missing gems.
Oh
Was
yeah, oh
missing
yeah.
gems. Yep. Appreciate everybody that's jumping in. Yeah, like I said, get your haps together. Let us know what you got going on this weekend. We'll talk about that a little later. And yeah, Brother Valadir says, yeah, who is Black Omaha? Self-identification. Abelardo's is the best.
Okay.
We had the brother from Abelardo's on, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
fast growing.
yeah. He amazed me about talking about the 17 restaurants he opened in a year. I was like, this brother.
Working.
And he was the only guest that came and brought us food too. On top of that, no,
Yeah, yeah, I remember
I
that.
can't say that he wasn't the only guest. I forgot we used to get donuts and stuff from some other folks, but
Big Mamas used to show love
Big
back in the
Mama. Oh,
day.
man, I'm tripping. Big Mama straight up brought us breakfast on a couple shows. So
Yeah, man.
what's up? Appreciate everybody joining in on this one, buddy. Let's move on to the next situation. Wait, before we get there, I see Miss Erica Felt just jumped in.
Hey, top of the morning to you.
She said, "Good morning. Just made 2 racks of strawberry muffins, ready for 9 children today. Ooh, they get
Eating
strawberry muffins
good.
at your school.
Eating good at the Playhouse.
Man." She said, "Does OPS ever have school?" I shared the show so I can catch the replay later. Have a great day. Drink water. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming in.
Hey, dropping in, saying what's up.
Yeah. Appreciate that very much. Miss Erica Feld is our resident child care expert. She owns a place called the Miss Erica's Playhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, not only do they get well taken care of there, they also get schooling there and strawberry muffins.
Man,
So yeah, you need
I
to get
might
your
need
kids
parts.
somewhere.
Might need
Get on,
parts.
get on the waiting list over there if you want to get your
Man,
kids over there for real. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We got a few more stories today that we definitely want to jump in we'll hear your feedback from. So thank you for that, buddy. What's on next on the agenda?
man, kind of actually continuing with this overcrowding conversation. There's another study coming out of UNO that could actually aid in something that the senators have been pushing for the last 3 or 4 years. Again, coming into question of whether or not the state should actually build another prison. Again, we've been dealing with overcrowding, and they're saying that, at least when I say they, a consultant, I'm not even sure, who this consultant is or where they're from, but it has been stated that there will be the need for 2 more prisons in the state by the year 2030. However, a UNO study is saying not so fast, not so fast. A new report on Nebraska's chronic overcrowding says the state could alleviate crowding and possibly even avoid building a second prison by handling short-term inmates differently. Talking about the short timers, not to be confused with the big timers, the short timers, which are apparently inmates who serve a sentence of less than a year. They say, according to this report, that they should not be sent to prison at all, but instead serve their time in a county jail or some other alternative to a prison bed. Short timers and now represent over 50% of new state prison admissions. Because of their short sentences, they have little opportunity for rehabilitation programs or even to make it into the work release program. According to the report from the UNO Center for Justice Research, the report says moving short timers into alternative housing locations will provide a substantial reduction to prison crowding, may prevent the need to build an additional prison facility altogether. Again, as I mentioned earlier, there is currently a prison that's possibly being built. There's still a lot of back and forth between the state and individuals surrounding Lincoln, especially those who are living in the community where the prison is set to be built. But right now, the planning is still underway for a 1,500 bed, $370 million replacement for the aging state Nebraska penitentiary, which that's still in debate whether that will actually be replaced or that will continue to operate even after this new prison is built. Again, Senators Wayne and McKinney have been very vocal in their opposition to this new prison in hopes that this new report helps in their battle. Senator Wayne is quoted saying, "This confirms that what we've been saying for the past 3 to 4 years. Maybe now that we have an independent body saying the same thing, they'll listen." Also, Senator McKinney is quoted saying that this doesn't make sense to send short timers to the state's intake prison, the reception and treatment center, leaving them, as he reports, sitting idle. He says it's a waste of time. So again, the report also recommended that state legislature review steps that have increased the length of prison sentences and provide ways for nonviolent individuals who complete programming to be released early. If you remember in previous conversations we've had with Senator Wayne, he introduced us to the term of jamming out, as far as, again, not many programming, not really anything for inmates to work their way back into society, which almost guarantees that they will eventually find their ways back behind bars. Again, this goes towards that argument and that fight. Senator Wayne actually says that he plans to hold a briefing in the next couple of weeks for all senators on the findings of the study, saying it's pretty significant. This idea that we have to build our way out of prison overcrowding isn't true.
Hmm. Definitely agree.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole like kind of frustrating and mind-boggling thing about all of this. Like, how do you not agree with the idea that maybe we should look at before spending hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars on building more prisons? What are we doing to get reach this overcrowding situation? And again, what data are they looking at? To even dictate, that they will have to build two new prisons. Like, how do you know so many people are going to be arrested? How do you know so many people are going to be incarcerated? And again, what sentencing practices are there already that's leading to the overcrowding?
Yeah.
You always talk about fixing the pond versus the fish.
Mhm.
How do you fix the pond?
That's a good question. I think the governor thinks that they're doing something. They just did a press thing yesterday.
Mm,
Let me see if I can share my page here. Share the screen. Let's see where we at. There it is. This is kind of the press release for that.
mm,
Blow it up some. But basically, what they're doing, what they talked about here was this initiative called Reentry 2030, and apparently, this is their attempt to stop some recidivism, to help people that are getting out not come back, which is also a element of the overcrowding situation.
yep.
They if they're coming back in, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to get them out and let them stay out. We're working firsthand with Metropolitan Community College doing a documentary film on their reentry program. They're learning a lot about their program and how they are assisting individuals in a really kind of holistic way from top to bottom on being able to acclimate back into society. Not sure about how this is going to work with what the governor has going on here, so we'll see. But if anybody wants to check this out, it is in Friends of First Sky Omaha. This is their press release on their news release on it. It looks like they're trying to make a change here, make a difference. Nobody really spoke up though about the fact that we need to find different ways to shrink the population. They
Mm-hmm.
did talk about the brand new, beautiful, shiny situation that they have there with building a new prison. As a matter of fact, the person that they put in charge spoke on that directly. He talked about, yeah, it's an unpopular thing that we're going to build this new prison. It may be unpopular, but it can't be as popular as pipes rotting in the old prison and all the problems that are there. We're going to have one of the nicest, most shiny, best facilities in the country. There's a lot of that kind of patting on the back about all the beautiful facility that they're going to build. So I found that interesting that they're talking about doing that. That's how they're approaching this. This is the governor's people, so they're talking about approaching it that way. But it's under that situation. Our Diane Good Collins of the reentry program at Metropolitan College was at the meeting.
Okay.
So everybody that's in Nebraska that is trying to help with reentry was in the room to
Mm,
hear this announcement. So we'll see. There was an article about it somewhere. They were talking about that we're one of 4 states now that's adopting this 2030 situation. So we'll have to look
okay.
more into it and talk about it. Maybe even have some of the people on there that are behind it.
Yeah, would actually love to speak to Diane, about what was going on. She's been very vocal and really this whole conversation about looking at our incarcerated brothers and sisters through a different lens, especially when you talk about workforce development in the state.
Oh,
But it is good to hear that, in community organizations and like individuals were a part of this conversation, kind of going to Brother Malik Rogers' question, were community based reentry programs a part of this conversation?
yeah, most def. I'll definitely say it's a good question to ask. Were they a part of it? Yes, they were a part of it. They mentioned them. I was wishing that they had more of a mention of some of the kind of local based reentry programs that I know are Boost to the Roots doing some good work, like what Diane Good Collins is doing over there at Metro. So they didn't speak on it as much. They kind of took on the responsibility. We'll see exactly what happens there. Tonight Passion says new facility for new bodies, not to move people from the old facility. Right. It felt like just a lie when the brother was up there talking about this, saying, you know, the old pipes and the this and the that in the old prison. We need a new facility, as if they're not going to keep people in the old facility. It's just disingenuous to say the least. Brother Valadera says housing is what we need. God, we are just all sorts of tangled with prison. Yeah, it's almost the housing crisis is they're trying to solve the housing crisis by keeping people behind bars. It seemed like to me, or
Man.
something like that. Some weirdness like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, appreciate your comments on that. Also, a little further up, uh, let me see where were we at. Brother Valadar says communication and community-based service programs. Yeah, talk about service programs when it comes to people that are coming out. These programs, like the ones like the Life Project, for instance, over at Reentry, the 180 Reentry program at Metropolitan Community College, they are all about trying to get people classes, get people set up before they get out, when they get out, after they get out, and then for what they need to be able to get on their feet. It's a really holistic program, is what I'm learning. From head to toe, you get taken care of. You need a job help, housing help. They even got therapists, people to talk to about your
Man.
experience. Everything that you need to kind of acclimate. And every person that I talk to that's in the program is just like, man, this program is the best. If I'd have had this, I might have not have been in the first place. You had support, this kind of support. It feels
There you
like
go.
family support, like what a family would do in order to support somebody who's maybe a teenager in a little bit of trouble or something like that. That's what it feels like, head to toe. Here's the place to stay. Let me help you get on your feet. Let me help you find a job. Let me help you be a responsible member of society. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
really interesting that we have to come up with programs to help that. But there's sometimes people need that, and everybody needs it. Who's in a situation where they've been in jail for a while, and they you know what I'm saying, they don't even know. There's brothers that have been in there so long, they don't know about cell phones and internet or
Man.
nothing. How they,
Especially how fast technology moves.
how you come out and pay your bills? How you come out and do anything? If you just, I mean, it's hard to keep up with when you're not. It's hard to keep up with what last year did. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
so to be able to be connected with colleges like MCC that have classes for you to have financial literacy, computer literacy, all these kind of stuff to help you get on your feet just in life, and then on top of that, you can go further in where you want to go as far as a career is concerned. So you can take other classes. There's guys in there that are taking physics classes and stuff now. So
Yeah.
where you want to go, it's really kind of a perfect marriage. And I wish that what I feel like the correctional Department of Corrections ought to do is really team up with some of these colleges on some of these programs where they can do more inside and outside. So
Yeah.
you know, Rose Review says for every dollar spent on incarceration, there should be a dollar spent on prevention.
Yeah.
For real. Tanaya Patterson said those reentry programs need to be real heavy on combination substance abuse help.
Hmm.
That too. It's usually tied to the continuous cycle of reentry. Most
Yeah.
most people are in there for like no drug related nonviolent charges, and keep going back in because getting with drugs. If they got a problem, they have it on them again. You're right. The reentry program needs to be real heavy on the combination substance abuse help. So again, the one we're talking about right now, reentry 180 reentry at Metro does. They've teamed up with people and getting them drug rehab and all kinds of stuff. So it's you got to have a holistic head to toe family like support. My opinion.
Man, yeah, and is really like you said. It's funny that people are saying that had I got this before, I probably would not have been in prison. We talk about the preschool to prison pipeline, and it always whittles down to what services, what support are we giving the families? A child is not going to focus on school. A child is not going to do everything that he needs to do if he's not eating or not being able to sleep at night.
Yep. So true.
So,
Kimmer says, I'm going to find some time to post this data that was presented at the symposium on the First Sky page today, mostly numbers around youth in the system.
yep,
So, finding out the numbers of people that are youth that are there, what kind of help they're getting, support they're getting, what kind of support the families are getting for the youths. These are all very important statistics, all very important things we need to look at because that shows whether or not there's a problem, whether or not there's a preschool to prison pipeline problem that we got right now.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we know, we feel it, we see it, but it would definitely be nice to put some numbers to it.
For sure. Appreciate everybody that's joined in on the chat on this. Everybody's comment. 8:04 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, you are now in the second hour of First
Yeah,
Sky
man.
Omaha in the morning. If you're new here, we do 2 hours. We usually have agreed to kind of stop it at 9. Kind of goes after sometimes a little bit, but
A little bit.
hopefully we'll time it out so that we can have an extensive haps a little later. Again, get your haps together. What's going on this weekend? Good things and important things. We would love to talk about anything that you want to talk about. And also, anytime during the live stream as well, if there's an article or there's something, a piece of news that's standing out to you or something going on in the news, then please, put that in the chat. We can definitely put that on the agenda to talk about and so on and so forth. Thank you. Thank you very much. Gwen Easter, another diatribe.
Man,
We're going to have to, Miss Easter, we're going to have to.
just bring you on.
I mean, it's like, let's start a newspaper so you can just go ahead and write some articles. She says, I was really disappointed on Wednesday to see that I was the only one at the legislature to speak on Senator McKinney's housing bill. I'm glad you're bringing this up, and believe the senator is and believe the senator is McKinney too. Was too. Oh, he was also
Surprise.
disappointed. Yeah, people complained to him about high rent, and then he creates a bill and no one shows up. Man, I'm glad you're bringing this up. The bill needs to come out of the urban committee, but that won't happen. And if the people don't write to the urban affairs committee and to your senators and ask them to support LB 824. When people don't show up to the hearing or write in, it tells the senators there is no problem and the bill is not important.
Yep.
Talking about the other senators. Many people can't pay high rents, and we need a definition of affordable housing cap, if possible, on rent. I see there was not one housing agency there in support of the bill, which is very sad. So please take 5 minutes to send email that says, please support LB 842. Thank you all. Appreciate that very much. Yeah. Appreciate that very much. LB 842. So this is, we're working on a little bit trying to make sure that we can decipher a lot of these bills that are out there and kind of feature them so we can keep it on people's mind, what's out there, what the senators are out there fighting on. Of course, we have the senators on Monday. Senator Terrell McKinney, Senator Justin Wayne come on Mondays on this show, 7 o'clock, 7 to 9, and talk to us about what's going on in the legislature, what bills they're pushing, and so on and so forth. And really, this is all in efforts to get more of us to go up to the legislature and let people know that we support the bill. Let people know, let the senators know, see our presence, hear our voices about what we think about these bills. Mm-hmm. And if you can't make it because of work, there's links that you can go ahead and write letters. As a matter of fact, I'll see if I can find that link so that we can go ahead and put that in there now. You can send a letter in for your support. Those letters get in on the record, and then that tells the other senators who need to vote on these things that it's important. But Ms. Easter is right. When you don't show up, when we don't show up to the legislature, when we don't let other senators know how important it is to us in our community, it's just Senator McKinney up there arguing it. He has a lot of weight in what he says, but he needs much more backing in order to add weight to what it is. So these senators can understand what a problem this is to as many people as possible. Mm-hmm. That will sway them to vote on what Brother McKinney is trying to push. And that'll make the difference. Anthony Rogers Wright in the chat says, absolutely, Gwen. There can be no separation between policy and organization to make the policy a reality. Otherwise, all of these bills are nothing more than symbolic gestures.
Yep.
If we can get hundreds of people to show up for weed, but no one for low income housing, that's on us.
Yep.
It's funny too that you're saying that because we don't get hundreds of people to show up for weed. In Nebraska, we get hundreds of people to show up for things like abortion rights. The LGBTQ community comes out heavy when they talk about health care for the LGBTQ community. We saw this last session in a big way. We saw how many people came out for what. Mm-hmm. And it's never enough of us coming out for stuff that has to do with us, especially when it comes to prisons, especially when it comes to anything in the Black community, really. Really tough. Housing, we complain about the rents, not being able to find housing, how much the housing is when you find it. And here's some senators that are out here with bills that are trying to help regulate that, lower that, make it so it'd be easier for you to get into housing. And we can't gather together and get up there. We have to do better. We all got to do better on that.
At least write a letter, make a comment, something.
We got to, call the other senators, call them directly. Call Linehan. Call Tony Vargas. Call them directly. Do whatever you got to do to make them understand how important this bill is to us in our neighborhood. Otherwise, we just on here, we just sitting around talking. So, you know what I'm saying? Like all of us, we all got to do better on that. Tanaya Patterson says people who are homeless are not going to be worried about getting to Lincoln to watch something everybody knows is a problem. Gaslighting helps none and certainly doesn't help get bills passed. Whew. Yep. Very true. Very true. We definitely got to stand up on that. What the bill number again? The bill number was LB 842. Yep. Yep. Right on, Brother Valadares. Yep. Now we know, like I said, we can all do better on that. There's the bills that I wrote letters for and bills that I forgot to write letters for. We can still go back and write them, even though they might not be spoken on the floor. They'll still be in the record. So you need to try to get it in the timing that we're always bringing up. You know, like they're going to talk about this bill tomorrow. You got until 8:00 this morning to write a letter, so on and so forth. We do that a lot when the senators come on, especially. But even after the fact, it'll be on the record if you write a letter about it, if you still have something to say about it. So we're going to keep on trying to figure out how to organize a little bit better around some of that during this session. The session's going on now. It's a short session, so we are trying to put that in priority here to try to step up the pace on that a little bit. And shout out to the people who are chat chimers like Kimmer Snipes, Amy H. Dot. Few of them that organized some things and has gone up last session, and we need to do that again this session. Man. Matter of fact, Senator McKinney's in the chat now.
Yep, peace, and giving us the numbers. Really, I mean, it's simple math, y'all. It's simple math. If you want to support a bill, we got to show out more than the people who oppose the bill. The senators are just seeing who supports and who opposes and making decisions accordingly. Which, when you look at it from that perspective, you can't really blame them. Like, they're doing, to that effect, kind of doing their job. He says there was only one proponent testifier yesterday on my bill for reparations, 4 online, and 55 opponents online, none in person. So again, if we're all in support of, we all hope that reparations will pass in Nebraska and we can get some movement in reparations in Nebraska. It has to be more than 5 people against 55. Like, we're not going to, it's simple math. We're not going to win that. Never. 5 versus 55. If I'm a senator, how can you even justify that? How can you justify supporting that? 55 people said they didn't want it. 5 people said they did. What am I supposed to do?
So we've been talking nice about it for the last few seasons. We've been saying, hey, this is what we need to do. Hey, everybody, let's go kumbaya. Can we get together? Can we hit up Preston Love and get on this bus and drive up? Blah blah blah. It's getting ready to be there. We got to get serious with him. Right. We got to be like, this is the meet us here. This is the time. We driving up. Let's go. So we're gonna work on that. I know that you guys, as far as first Sky Omaha is concerned, it's me and Buddi, and we always are looking for people, volunteers, and people that want to join the first Sky Omaha fam, be a part of Boots on the Roots. We'll do the best we can do. We're definitely gonna get more involved now that I'm freed up a little bit. I had to take that leap. It was a scary leap for me to go ahead and leave my full-time job, and jump on this. But that's my commitment to try to put our money where our mouth is. Put them, whatever the phrase is. Do what we say we should be doing.
I think you said it right.
Yeah. So it's time to step up on that, and we'll do our part to try to lead some of that. And then let's look to our other leaders, man, like Kimmer Snipes. Absolutely a leader. Goes to most of the meetings. Jump in with her. She'll pick you up.
Yeah. Or Brother Preston Love Jr. He got a whole bus that he will gas up and send people, but we're not going to have him gas up the bus for 2 people.
There you go. Malik Rush says community groups and leaders basically lead by do what I say, not what I do. Yeah. Yeah, we all working on trying to do that better. No, Miss Issa, you don't need to apologize for nothing. She said, sorry for the long pause, forgive the errors. My sugar's up a bit, affecting my eyes this morning. Mine too. I'm feeling that. Because I gotta eat, take meds and be fine. Yeah, take care of yourself. In short, don't worry about it. No, we appreciate you bringing that up. That was a very important piece there. That I'm glad you brought up what you said and worded it the way you did, because yes, this is the kind of the gist of it here, man. We've been talking about this, but we talk about these bills, we explain these things, we bring the senators on so we can talk about what it is the bill is. But then,
Come
you
to
know,
an understanding.
right, we're a discussion group, a news and discussion group. And by season 4 or 5, we were like, we need to pivot. We can't just be discussing stuff. We got to put boots to the roots. We gotta we gotta get up and do, and we gotta the natural progression after a discussion is action.
Right. Can't just leave like, oh yeah, that was some good information. That sounded good. I know some stuff.
Yeah, you with it? Yeah, I'm with it. Okay, yeah, we all behind it now. We on the same page. We fully understand everything, and we with it on the same page. Okay, all right, then I'll catch you later, I guess.
Right,
Go
right. Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Nah. Kimber Snipe says, I was not there and I feel horrible. In my defense, I'm also trying to leave a nonprofit as an ED for the first time in my life. I'll lead a nonprofit as ED, but I'll do better. You're the shining
Camera.
example of what we talking about.
Camera. Stop. Stop. That just shows the level that you hold yourself. But stop. We actually, hope that you take more time to yourself for your self-care.
Look, Kimber Snipes, you go to more meetings than 10 of us,
Combine.
and I'm talking about 8 chat chimers and me and Buddy. Us that 10. You go to more meetings than that 10 goes to. She says, I'd like to get a connection established between Nona and the senator's office where there is a regular communication. We have to use social media and radio, but we also have to go old school.
Mm-hmm.
I love that idea. We always been, you guys are the people that tell us about what the neighborhood associations can do. That's a perfect example of boost to the roots. If you were in your neighborhood association and you guys arranged to get in the car together and drive up and fight for some of these bills, there's no better grassroots situation to start from scratch, to get together and get back up. Use our phones, like Kimber says.
Mm-hmm.
This way, when the senator needs people to show up, this tree of contacts will be informed. Yeah, thank you for
That'd be
some
beautiful.
ideas.
That would be beautiful. I like that idea. Man, I want to acknowledge Brother Malik Rogers in the chat as well,
Mhm.
saying, "No, I am not the only one who has sat next to somebody in Lincoln who has no idea what was taking place, but only there because someone told them to be there for visibility. And
Ooh,
usually, those types of people are there against our will,
wow,
opposing bills that would help us. And where are we?
man. Yeah, that's heavy, man. That's heavy.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what we can do here. I like what Kimber's talking about. Use the phones. I was just thinking about who it was, Barbara White's just popped into my head.
Hmm.
Barbara White ran for regent, and this is when I was just kind of starting to know who's who and what was what. And because I'm friends with the family, what was a part of the letter writing, they did some letter writing at the house that was really trying to get the word out that she was running for regent. This is what the issues were. I just saw an email from Katie Weiss recently about an initiative where they sat around and wrote postcards to the senators on some issues, and was happy to say it got on the floor because of those efforts.
Yeah.
We can absolutely get together, even if it's a situation we're telling everybody write your own emails and so on. But maybe it's a situation where we get together and do some group writing, like other groups do, like white folks be doing for us. You know what I'm saying? Like we could put something together where there's letter writing groups. Send 50, 100 postcards to the senators. If we can't make it up there because of work, we get together one night, eat some pizza, write some postcards, and shoot them up. There's a lot of things we can do.
Man, I mean, really, you kind of got my mind going. Like, just think about us as a people in this country. How do we get anything done? How we ever gotten anything done? You think Martin Luther King was just out there by himself?
Man, Million Man March.
A 1,000,000-man march, not one, not 4-man march. Million. We all got a part to play.
And think about Black Lives Matter after George Floyd. The whole world marched, and the needle, and there's maybe 5 policemen in jail now. So how many people does it take to make the needle move? Like you got to show up in the numbers.
Yeah.
Anthony Rogers Wright says, to Kimber's point, though, certain legacy political parties care more about federal elections and initiatives than they do state initiatives. It's why the Democrats have little control over most state houses across the nation. They have been horrible at local, state, grassroots organizing since Obama pushed out Howard Dean and replaced him with bootlickers like Jamie Harrison.
Mm.
Naming names out here. That's interesting. Tony Justice says, serious question. Why most of the community events and meetings not recorded or streamed? Everybody was on it during COVID. Yeah, that's a good question. It's another thing that First Sky Omaha, we kind of are known for doing a lot, doing the streaming, doing things live, and we want to extend that to the community. That's some of the things that we're working on this year is to try to extend some of those things. They need to be live streamed. We need to be at least
Mhm.
recorded. So yeah, definitely something that we can do.
But that also takes equipment, to make sure that is,
Takes equipment, takes time, takes labor. So on that subject, if you'd
Mhm.
like to support First Sky Omaha, go to firstsky.omaha.com, hit the donate button,
There you go.
become a reoccurring member. This is some of the things we're trying to build up. So we'll speak more on that. As a matter of fact, we've got a new site that's about to launch, and on that site, we might just go ahead and put what our initiatives are, what we're trying to do. A little menu up there for people that want to support. Which thing do you want to support? Do you want to support us training people and having some live streamers in the situation to cover some things? We'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to do that and put it out to everybody to try to to help us do what we're trying to do. I don't know if a lot of other people even have the kind of initiatives we have. The
Mm.
things that we're learning about what we need to be doing from talking to y'all.
Right.
Anybody else doing that? So when we're looking at directions that we're trying to go as First Sky Omaha, it's because we having these discussions. I don't really see that happening. To be honest, even people running for certain seats, I'm like, where did that come from?
Man.
I don't hear the community talking about that.
Yeah.
So interesting. Tonight, Patterson said there's no lockstep on affordable housing, especially among our reps. Over and again, there has been mention of either A, not interested in it, or B, there's no such thing. It sure won't be a push among a legislative body when the community leaders keep switching it up. The mixed messages make it hard. Yeah, do we need help? Don't we need help? What's affordable housing? Reps getting together. It's always a good idea. Good thing to ask for, talk about. Last season, Senator McKinney put together a situation where they were going to talk to all the politicians that are repping us in the county and city.
Man, whatever happened with that?
I was getting ready to ask. So that's another question we'll have for the senators when they come on Monday. Anything come of that? We'll keep on putting the invitation out to speak to Chris Rogers, to speak to us, Councilwoman Juanita Johnson. We will keep on putting the invitation out to speak to them, and let's definitely get some questions, get some pointed questions together so that we can really have something to talk about and really ask when they come on about what's going on here. But I love that the comment, Ms. Patterson, about that. You're right. When you got mixed messages about what it is we need, then it makes it a little tougher. But even with that, the numbers, people, the support. Yeah, we know we need affordable housing in our neighborhoods and all around Omaha. We know that.
And not I wouldn't even say affordable housing, just actual housing that we can afford. Like it seems that like those are two different things.
Yeah. So what do we do about it?
Right.
That's the question. Well, we got one solution. We got some senators that are representing our neighborhoods that are putting bills out there to try to help some of that. All right. What's the next step? Support them.
Mobilize.
So we'll definitely talk more about that. This is kind of the beginning of that for me because as we plan out what's going on in this season and for the year, all that kind of stuff is involved in my plan. So
Yeah.
we got and hopefully there'll be a lot of people that can get together on that. Physical visits to Lincoln and to the legislature is best. Writing letters, second best. Doing nothing, got to be unacceptable from now on.
That part. And it starts with us coming together, talking, getting an understanding, and then moving on that understanding. Not just having the understanding, but understanding that you have to. Wisdom is knowledge applied.
Come on with it.
Keep that in mind. Wisdom is knowledge applied. It's not enough to just know what's going on. We got to do something about it.
Bars.
Or else you're not being wise at all.
Bars. Like Brother Valader said, yep.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
So
We'll take a quick break. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you. Thanks for your comments. Stay tuned. We got the haps coming up. Get your haps together. It's going down.
Yeah, man.
Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'm Paul B. He's Buddi3 Da Gawd. All of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, appreciate everybody who's jumped into the chat. The chat is going off. I can't even keep up with the chat, bro. What's going on here?
Man, that's a good problem. It's a good problem.
Guess so.
Brother Jahisha Baz in the chat. Definitely got to get you on, brother.
Okay, there you go. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. We see you, brother. We see you. Definitely would love to have a conversation with you. He says, I have 8 acres for 200 units with a score of 3.7 in the Olsen metric, and my proposal was awarded a nominal amount of $50,000 for a $16 million project. And I will be taking on billionaires and nonprofit sellouts. Would definitely love to speak to you, brother, because we also received a nominal amount of $50,000, which is just a drop in the bucket for what we actually needed to do what we were actually trying to do, as far as, hire folk. Wasn't that the whole point of the thing? Was it to get people to get jobs? I don't know how many people they expect to be hired with 50,000, but there you go.
Brother Kasim, give me your phone number. I'll give you a call this weekend so we can definitely definitely have you on the show if you're willing to come on the show. Appreciate you. Saw you over there at 95.7 The Boss. Shout out to William King, 95.7 The Boss. You kind of shut it down over there. We was like, who is this? Me and Buddy were like, who is this?
Man,
Brother Kasim had to hip us to the brother elder who was putting it down here. So we would love to have you on. I'll give you a call this weekend and see if we can hook that up for sure. Appreciate you.
Big time.
Yep. Wanted to make a quick. Well, let's see. This is kind of not the time for that. I'll come back and make this and do that later. But
okay.
But yeah, just kind of jump in. So yeah. I remember during the haps. We'll do it during the haps. The haps is coming up for those of you who don't know. For those of the first timers here, we do a section of the show called the haps. Yeah, welcome. First of all, we do a show called that. We do a portion of the show called the haps. That's where we talk about the things that we need to. We're saying is important in the community to attend, and it don't have to be all political stuff. It could be fun stuff. What's the concerts going on this weekend?
Man.
What kind of fun are you trying to have this weekend? We value people. We value our time to relax as well.
Yep.
Time to be artistic and indulge in art.
Eat. Where's the food at?
And most of all, living alive with one another, with family, outings. Doing the things that you fight local politics to be able to do. Hit the park.
I mean, that's the whole point. Like, we want, it's all connected. Like, we want to be able to have housing that we can afford so we can have a little extra money to go out and kick it and spend time and actually spend money and, patronize businesses and, be a part of the community. It's hard to do that and hard to thrive within the community when you worried about where your next meal gonna come from or if you're gonna be able to pay your bills. That does not lend or lead to a very thriving, happy community.
Yeah, most def. Yeah. I'm looking at Tony Johnson's comment a little earlier. He says, "Keep in mind that scene in Malcolm X when they all showed up at the police station. That was one of my favorite.
Makes your dream work."
They came in deep. They were like, "We are not leaving here until Brother Johnson gets looked at." And finally, Finally, when he was satisfied, Malcolm went out and did that, and everybody took off. Wait, get in the camera. He went like that, and everybody took off, and he was like, "That's too much power for one man to have."
Man,
That was a cold scene right there. It was like they mobilized up, bro.
it's people power.
Yeah, love it, love it.
Power to the people.
Power to the people. Love everybody's comments here tonight. Tonight Patterson says deep red states are in constant battle mode on migrants, prisons, voting, welfare, and schools. All these are Republican dog bones at the national level too. She says the only difference you get into are the appearances of non-racial positions, climate change, med for all, and Israel. Those are lesser concerns at a Republican state level.
Kind of again going back to her comment that there really isn't a difference between national and local issues from Republicans.
Interesting, very interesting indeed. Kira Snipes says, just checked my mail, got a handwritten congratulations card from Don Bacon for my MLK award. Don Bacon I don't know who his campaign people are, but he be in the mix. I can't never forget that time when we were running Mind and Soul, and these people were calling like,
Oh yeah,
Don Bacon would like to come on your show. Like, all right, yeah, we will hook it up. I said Don Bacon would like to come on your. They called several times. Like we said,
he's coming on the show.
look, he's coming on the show.
Excuse me.
Yeah, but that's good. That cracks me up. I was like, man, okay, that's what's up. He be in there. He's the only one. We know his name. He be in the community for sure. So I think the last time we had Senator Vargas on before that was running against him before. And really, that was those only two names that was out there. That's because we know Brother Vargas. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Actually, we do have an article on that. And speaking of that, if you want to
okay,
jump into it, yeah, because it looks like Tony Vargas is making national headway. Speaking of local versus national issues, apparently this coming out of Nebraska Examiner, an experienced candidate capable of raising funds and a vulnerable Republican representing a House district that voted for Joe Biden in 2020 has raised the profile of Nebraska's second district with national Democrats. So again, once again, the national spotlight is shining on Nebraska. On Monday, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee put the Omaha area congressional race in its top 17 red to blue races for national donors to follow as the party tries to flip control of the House. The label signals the DCCC, which is again the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, sees State Senator Tony Vargas of Omaha among the Democratic candidates who are most capable of beating a Republican incumbent. Don Bacon first faces a primary battle with Omaha businessman Dan Fry. Typically, the first wave of targeted races receive more interest from national donors and outside groups. Many are competitive districts that state legislatures have had a hard time tilting to either party's lasting advantage during a once-a-decade redistricting, which just took place. Vargas told the Examiner he is excited the work of his campaign staff and his volunteers is being recognized. He said many of his supporters will be energized by his race being identified as one of the best chances for Democrats to pick up a seat. He said his team is focused on talking to Democrats, Republicans, and nonpartisan voters who fed up with the status quo, inflation, and a Congress that gets little done. He says we came within 2.5% of unseating Don Bacon last cycle, despite being significantly outspent with outside Republican money. So this campaign has just been building off of the momentum of all that work of last year. Representative Susie Delbane of Washington, who's a Democrat, says actually chairs the committee, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. Wanted to get that right. But she says that the group isn't impressed by Vargas's proven record of fighting for working families, including his support for tax cuts and job creation, and touted his support for reproductive freedom. So this is all very interesting. We haven't really heard much from Senator Vargas, but it seems like he is making national headway and getting the attention of the right folks. Vargas made the protection of abortion rights a key part of his 2022 campaign after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade and sent abortion decisions back to the states. He criticized Bacon for previously co-sponsoring a proposed national abortion ban. So this whole race should be very, very interesting. As we see, Don Bacon is constantly present in our communities. But again, what does that mean for actual bills? What does that mean for actual support of actual, getting things done, especially to benefit the community? But at the same time, you know, what are we feeling about Vargas?
Yeah. I did run into Brother Vargas. I can't remember what meeting, but we did talk about him coming onto the show. He's a friend of the show. He's willing to come on and talk for sure. He's
Hmm.
heavy in the streets on the south side. We don't see
Hmm.
too much on the streets on the north side. I have been on several occasions on some tours with Brother Preston Love with Brother Vargas, and he would come and bring his family and stuff like that. So I've seen him on the north side, but ain't nobody doing it like Don Bacon when it comes to that. And I gotta. It's interesting because we all know where Don Bacon is coming from. I mean, this is kind of this is kind of a Trump cat, man. So like,
Man,
it's interesting what we know this stuff, but when he's showing up, that means something to some folks that don't really know where to go or don't really have an idea of who to vote for and so on. If you're in the streets, man, talking that talk, then it's interesting. Malik Rogers in the chat says cannot fault his team for doing what they're hired to do. Cannot say you have not heard from him in a while. RG said Don Bacon be in these streets, rubbing his chin. Miss Erica, Miss Erica, and I mean he in the streets for years. Yeah, he been out here. He's come on 95.7 The Boss like a lot.
yeah,
She said, too bad South Omaha, where his district is, has the lowest voter turnout in the city. Ooh, you just talking about your home, your spot. Brother Valadeta says, so what's he standing on agriculture and Mexicano GMO corn ban? So what's his stance on agricultural issues? This in Nebraska. Let's keep
mm,
that. Let's have him on the show and keep that question relevant there, alive there. I will say what I do know about Brother Vargas. He is about the working class in a big way, bro. His father died, and that was a major point. His father was at the packing houses,
yep. During
and so
COVID.
during COVID, and so he lost his father, and he was already really for better conditions for working class people even before that. So
Yeah,
we know some of the spots that he's on. Where's he at now? But then again, where's Bacon? What's Bacon? Where does Bacon stand on stuff? Even
man.
though he be out here in these streets, but what's he talking about? Uh, Anthony Rogers Rice says can't be mad at Bacon for showing up to Black Agenda Alliance meetings. He's a hustler, and that's why he wins elections. I think he sent his representative to that BAA meeting, but nonetheless, yeah, he be in these streets.
Part of the team.
Bacon got that big black brother on his squad too. Who's that, Brother Rogers? Who's that? That's funny. Brother Valdez says I see soft spots on Vargas. Okay, interesting.
Mm, okay.
Anthony Rogers, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just going through the chat here
No,
real
you
quick.
good.
Tonight Patterson says tax cuts is a golden statement. Like the state isn't already running on fumes. That's a Bacon thing, isn't it? Tax cuts. Marianne Williams says Don Bacon has always been funded by millionaires and can put together a team. Okay. Bacon is big on veterans. Rome's review says okay. So we got some issues. I remember last season we were politicking with Pete. Precious McKesson was coming on talking about that. I think Bacon was in the Black History Parade. He was out there
Juneteenth,
something
I think.
out there getting booed. They they booed him pretty bad out there, and he had stuff to say about it. Interesting stuff. Before we get too far in this chat here, I want to go back to what Brother Jahisha Baz says. He says 51 of 77 black business owners receive 50 grand. That's 50.
50.
It's the thing that around here, like everybody who I'm talking to, business owners, stuff like 50, 50, 50, 50. Like they just was like, let's just give them all 50.
Pretty
That's what
much.
that's what it felt like. Says they violated the law. Businesses are the priority, not metric. No, not metric was used, and inside moves were made to have more than of the same. Black businesses must unite. We have been robbed. I would love to come on. Oh,
Okay.
perfect. Yeah, perfect. We'll definitely. I'll call you this weekend. We'll hook it up. I also talked while I'm thinking about it. I also talked to Miss Brianna Full. We know we had some questions about what's going on at the school board.
Hmm.
It was in Friends of First Sky Omaha. There was a meeting that's supposed to be coming up that school board people weren't supposed to be at, and another school board person said they were. They were asking Brianna Full for some clarification on that. So we'll save that question for when we have her on as well. She was going to be on this morning, and then said she couldn't make it last minute. So we're going to have her on beginning of next week, probably Wednesday of next week, and we can ask her those things too.
Yeah.
Kimmer Snipe says my folks in South Omaha get zero touch from anybody but that's Mike McDonald district. Okay.
Mm.
Tonight Patterson says if he's really about the working class, he needs to talk about Tony Vargas. He needs to run on taxing the rich. He won't do that, or he won't win anything else in this state. Taxing the rich.
It's something we should look out for. Also, brother Anthony Rogers Wright, speaking on Bacon, says Bacon voted for a bipartisan infrastructure law and was screwed by GOP for doing that. So he has shown a willingness to buck his party. The BIL, which again the bipartisan infrastructure law, has brought some dollars um, to his district in Nebraska writ at large. Not a fan of Bacon, but we do have to tell the truth, the
Mhm.
full truth, which is
Yeah.
definitely that's kind of the big thing that I hear brother King talking about as far as Republicans cut that check. Republicans do support financially, and kind of begs the question: what have Democrats done?
Mm. Mama God in the chat. She said hello to us earlier from
Peace,
Texas.
my dukes,
You be cloud hopping. That's what I'm
man.
talking about. Peace from Texas. Texas is what's up right now. In the chat, she says, "Don't know if I accidentally deleted my previous post about my cousin, Dr. Angela Felton Coleman, has a new leadership role at Girls Inc. UNMC facility and being a speaker at upcoming February 10th event regarding Black STEM. Ooh, we need to get busy with that. Just maybe she is willing to join us on First Sky to speak. I absolutely
Okay,
would love to speak with her. Yeah, please,
yeah.
please help us hook that up.
Reach out to Cuz.
Put us in touch. Marianne Williams says Senator Carol Blood. Shout out to Barrel Blood. First of all,
Man,
has
who's actually
uh,
has announced that she's going against Flood in Nebraska's first district U.S. House race. So
blood against flood.
yeah,
Senator Carol Blood has done more for Nebraska veterans than anyone in this state. Ooh,
mm.
good information. Malik Rogers says, say his name. Ricky Smith said that school board members will be there. Ricky Smith. Oh, I didn't know who said it. Okay, Ricky Smith said school board members will be there. Okay. So what's the truth? That's what we need to find out because it was a pretty important.
Yeah, it's the finalists for the superintendent
Yeah,
search,
yeah, pretty
who I
important
believe
meeting.
Ricky Smith has been leading that search.
Yeah, so pretty important meeting that's coming up, and it does make a difference whether or not the community is going to be saying things in front of the school board or not. So we'll have to find that out. And again, we'll put out the call. We'll put out the ask for Ricky Smith to come on the show as well, just like we did last season. This season we'll be a little bit more aggressive with making phone calls to those natures.
Man,
Yeah, man. Tonight, President, if it's bipartisan, it's not bucking anything. Okay, talking about whether or not he should be trying to tax the rich. Let me go through the chat here a little bit more. Kimber says there's an open house for the superintendent finalists on the 12th. That's what we're talking about at 5:00 at Buena Vista High School. That's the meeting we're talking about. On the flyer, it said there would be no members of the school board there. And then I think it was a member of the school board that put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha.
so
And then, but also Ricky Smith is, I guess, said there will be school board members there. So we're trying to figure out which one is true.
well, it looks like it's 3 different meetings, according to what Sister Kimber has posted. She says there's a public meeting for the superintendent finalists on the 8th of February at 6 p.m. at the TAC building. So we
Mhm.
have the 8th, which is a public meeting, it looks like, from Sister Kimber. Also, she says there's an open house on the 12th.
Mhm. For the finalists.
Right. And then on the 13th, there is a superintendent interviews, which will be public at 5 p.m. at TAC. So
Okay.
3 individual meetings all surrounding the superintendent search.
Okay. And I believe the one at Buena Vista High School on the 12th is the one that the flyer said would not have any board member,
Right.
the board members there, right?
Right. And that was from Margot Juarez, I believe.
Oh, right. Got it. Okay, cool. So we got that straight. So we'll talk. We'll have Brianna Full on to tell us a little bit more about that. Anybody's interested in putting boots to the roots on this, showing up to these meetings? Is the superintendent search something that's on your radar? We've been talking about it all last year, all season. How important is that job? It's a $200,000 or $300,000 a year job. And the last time
Man,
somebody had it, they brought her in from out of town, and she did what she did, and then it was like, I had enough. Bounce.
step down.
How much power does the school board have? We've been talking about that all last year. I would like to this year. I wanted to see some changes in faculty more than board. Now that we understand it, we thought board had way more power than board actually does. It's really not.
It's the administration.
It's administration. So how is administration getting shaken up any? Is there any new leadership in that area? Because that's really going to make the difference for OPS. It's really going to make the difference for the kids. So we'll see. 8:45 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, let's go ahead and jump into some haps. If you don't mind.
Hey.
Or actually, we got some lightning round before we do that.
Yeah, actually, you do have a few stories we did not get into today that we can, knock out here in this lightning round. If that's all right with y'all,
Word.
let's go ahead and knock it out. Again, we've been talking about support of families throughout the show. We got into the preschool to prison pipeline a little bit, and this latest move from the U.S. House, which again talking about Vargas and Blood going for the House, but this latest move could definitely help. There's an overwhelmingly vote on Wednesday to approve $78 billion package. That's with a B, $78 billion that would expand the child tax credit and reinstate some tax incentives for businesses. The vote, which was 357 to 70, so definitely lopsided vote, will send the bill, which is being dubbed the Tax Relief for American Families and Workers Act of 2024. Excuse me.
Hashtag kids be dirty.
Man, every time I try to talk, my sinuses just go acting crazy. But again, the bill where lawmakers are expected to vote on it at some point in the U.S. Senate. Though passage isn't guaranteed, a House debate on the 84-page measure was broadly bipartisan, both Democrats and Republicans backing the agreement between Missouri Republican Representative Jason Smith, who's the chairman of the House's Tax Writing Committee, and Senate counterpart Finance Chairman Ron Wyden, who is an Oregon Democrat. Members of both political parties also spoke against the bill, with several far-right lawmakers arguing the expansion of the child tax credit will broaden the welfare state, and progressive Democrats saying the bill didn't go far enough. So, again, extremists saying, one side is not going too far, or it is going too far. Another side saying it is going far enough. But luckily, we have about 357 moderates who, again, got this through. Each of these policies will help American businesses grow, create jobs, and sharpen their competitive edge against China, which apparently is on American radar. The child tax credit expansion, he said, continues provisions that Republicans put into the 2017 tax law they passed during the Trump administration. So, again, for those of you who are about to file taxes, you got babies at home, this is just in time. Hopefully, the Senate can move on that in a swift manner, because I know that I could definitely use an expanded tax credit for children. So yeah, I just speak for
Me
myself.
too.
Speak for myself.
I don't got no kids, but me too.
Man, that part. Also, speaking of support for families, speaking Thursday to a legislative committee, the Lincoln pediatrician, Dr. Carla Lester, was among 17 proponents who urged lawmakers to adopt a proposal that could lead to requiring Nebraska to participate in a national summer EBT food program for children. The program, which will provide an estimated $18 million in grocery buying federal funds to about 150,000 low-income Nebraska youth. Again, that's just in Nebraska. 150,000 low-income youth has become a high-profile hot potato issue. Governor Pillen has objected to the state joining the program, saying he did not believe in welfare, quote unquote. However, our pediatrician, Dr. Lester, said she understands from personal experience the stigma and shame, quote unquote, that a child feels knowing that lunch or dinner is not automatic. It was kind of like a secret. She says at this point in her life and career, I can't sit by and think we're just going to let these funds go. Again, $18 million could be going to families. Yet we have another governor who is willing to let that fall by the wayside.
Yeah, man. As a person that has benefited from so many different programs that you could call welfare,
Mm-hmm.
got the nerve to stand up here and say, I don't believe in welfare. People need help. What's wrong with you?
That part. It's just so interesting that individuals who come from $billion and $1 million families say that they don't believe in others getting help. Yeah.
Cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking on that, in other news, there's a battle brewing in regards to sales tax on businesses, agriculture, and the Omaha Zoo. Is it wrapped up in the middle of this? Apparently, according to this article out of the Nebraska Examiner, it was called deja vu all over again at the state capitol on Thursday. Groups ranging from accountants, farmers, veterinarians, lawyers, owners of self-storage units, and amusement game distributors lined up to oppose attempts to remove long-running tax breaks for the industries. It was a replay of full court press in past years against a legislative attempt to relieve property taxes by quote unquote broadening the sales tax base by eliminating exemptions. And it marked the third straight day of rocky receptions for Governor Pillen's plan to reduce property taxes by 40%. We talked about this earlier this week, in which again Governor Pillen tried to identify several organizations and several committees that he would like to pull funds from in order to pay for these property tax cuts, which was not very popular, especially among those in the organizations. At one point Thursday, chuckles erupted in the hearing room of the legislature's Revenue Committee after it was pointed out that one of the tax relief proposals drew letters from 114 opponents and only 3 supporters. So again, not a very popular move. Yet Governor Pillen is pushing forward. That's kind of how the day has gone, according to Senator Lou Ann Linehan, who's a key supporter of the tax relief plan. So a lot of movement in taxes this session, something to definitely look out for, especially if you're a property owner or business owner. Something you should look out for. Again, Pillen has proposed a massive tax shift to reduce local property taxes by up to $1 billion. And he testified Thursday for the first time in support of his proposals, which does include consideration of a 1 cent increase in state sales taxes. So again, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, it's he starts off with let's lower taxes. Good. How you gonna do it? That's the question.
Right.
Who's gonna affect? Who's gonna affect
On
first?
who's back? On who's back?
Who's
So
back?
yeah, you might not be paying as much in property taxes, but anytime you buy something, you might feel it.
Right. Brother Jahid Shabazz says the governor received welfare subsidies for his pig farming business. For real.
Yep.
Family show, bro. We try to not curse so much on the show, but I appreciate your comment for sure. There's other comments. Go back and check out Brother Jahid's comment here, Brother Shabazz's comment, because he's giving you a glimpse of what we're going to talk about when he comes onto the show. He's not holding back, not holding back. So anyway, I appreciate everybody who's jumped in there. Was that the end of the lightning round? Did I cut you off?
No, that's it. That's good.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we talked about Blood and Vargas running, so some other things to look out for. But that does it for our lightning round.
Well, if that does it for the lightning round, then let's go ahead and fire up the haps, y'all.
What's the haps? What's happening? What's going down?
Right, time for the haps. Time for us to talk a little bit about what's going on in our neighborhoods, all the good stuff, all the stuff that's important, and the fun stuff. And it's also time for you to let us know what's going on as well, as far as your haps are concerned. What are some of the things you think we need to be checking out? You can find most of this stuff on Friends of First Sky Omaha, because we like to post over there. But we also talk about it here, and we appreciate that. I want to jump into something that we have not done before.
What's that?
We're firing up our advertising on this channel.
Aha.
So first of all, I want to make an announcement that we are going to be doing some advertising on the channel. If you would like to advertise with us, hit me up personally, or you can go to firstskyOmaha.com, or I'm sorry, firstskyOmaha@gmail.com and put in a request for that. We'll give you a call and we'll talk about it. The first one I want to do, the family dropped a coffee line.
Hey.
So this is an Allen family product right here. Drunk Ship coffee is going down. It's made out of it's in California, and I can give you the. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and put the post the link there for you to be able to order it. They just started shipping them out. So this is a coffee company that they've sourced the bean in a one farm in Ethiopia, and so they got the fair farming situations going on, and top notch, and they're all about it. So I appreciate my family for putting these things together. We were all inspired to really push family business, because do for self, number one. So first ad I'm going to put up has to do with the family coffee. Go ahead and check that out. We will put this in Friends of First Sky Omaha too. Again, if you want to advertise with us, please let us know. We will do that. We definitely have some eyes on what it is we're doing, and it might enhance what's going on with your business. So this is the start of that. So yeah, appreciate that very much for you allowing us to do that. And this is one of the ways that we're going to expand what we're doing here at First Sky Omaha, is to add advertising to the situation as well. We will only advertise the things that we are all about. That's one good thing about having your own media company. You don't got to let all the BS in. It's only what we want to push. just like how that works with the Haps as well. So also with the Haps, we need you to put this on your calendar right now. It's going to come up really fast. 17th and
Man,
18th. The Black Power Conference is going down.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Look at all the people involved in this, man. Shout out to the BAA. It's going down to Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. Shout out to Untamed, Omaha Star, 95.7 The Boss. We're going to have some folks up here that are going to be, there's going to be some panels and some things we talk about. And we're going to be there as well, speaking on black media. So because that's a huge part of what you got to do when you're talking about a Black Power Conference is say,
Man,
hey, what's the communications here doing? What's going on? So we're happy to be a part of this, and can't wait for this to happen. I hope this is the first. I believe this is going to be an annual situation here. 2-day event, 17th and 18th. Definitely check out Black Power Conference that's happening on the 17th, and Restoring the Black Family on the 18th. Lots of good discussion about what we can do to really shore up the Black family. All about it. Shout out to BAA for putting these things on for sure.
yeah, man, yeah, man. Not just the panels, but there also be vendors there. You can come as Brother Shabazz, Kasim Shabazz reminded us. Come get your health insurance. Come get your life insurance. You know,
Yes.
register to vote. All of that, all of that. So let's get active, y'all.
With that. Also, this is something interesting I just found out about. Juneteenth African American Arts and Academics Camp is
Okay,
happening at the Charles B. Washington branch. We shout out to the library. This is going down Monday, February 5th. So this is just coming up Monday at 4:30. You might want to check out the library, man. Get some information on this particular thing. It might be something that you want to put your kids in. Juneteenth African American Arts and Academics Camp. Getting set up for Juneteenth this year early. I like it.
yeah, man.
So starting February 5th, right around, right in the middle of, right at the beginning of Black History Month. Appreciate that. Shout out to Charles B. Washington branch. They're always doing something cool. So definitely get some more information on that and check it out for sure. We've been encouraged in Friends of First Sky Omaha to start looking at the new voter ID laws. This is something that you definitely need to be checking out. We'll be talking about it coming up. If you don't have an ID to vote, then you can absolutely there's the situations out here where you can get like free ID. So there's some things that we need to learn about it. We'll definitely put that up. Just get it on your mind now, and we'll talk about it soon. But new voter ID laws, of course. Last session they passed some laws that changed all this up, where you got to have an ID to vote now, and so on and so forth. This is election season. Might as well start getting a jump on some of this stuff early.
Yeah, man.
So shout out to the Chad Chimers who are in Friends of First Sky Omaha to put this on our mind again too. Really appreciate that very much.
Yeah, really quickly, I want to go back to the library situation
Yeah.
that you're talking about. I
Mhm.
wanted to acknowledge a comment from Sister Kimera earlier in the chat. She says there's a few free things that you can do. You know, talking about getting out in the sun, getting out in this weather. She says you can go to Durham Museum, Lawrence Gardens, the Children's Museum, and other places for free with your library card. So again,
Mm.
make sure we're taking advantage of this library situation. As you see, they have classes, they have programs, but there's also other benefits that you can take advantage of. So again, Durham Museum, Lawrence Gardens, Children's Museum, especially if you got the babies, get out there, get active, educate their minds
Gotta do it.
for free.
Gotta
Get
do
your
it.
library card.
Get your library card. There's all kinds of good stuff going on,
Yeah, man.
and of course we're one state in the country, one of very few states in the country that are revamping the whole library system. I was just on a library steering committee last year that was really about to make all the libraries like do spaces
Man,
all around town, and then of course they're building that really big public library out there on 72nd and I believe Dodge. So yeah, man, be looking at that. There's gonna be lots to do as far as that's concerned. Businesses, there's all kinds of opportunities to run businesses out of these places. All kinds of stuff is getting ready to happen with the
yeah,
library.
man.
So definitely get your library card, get down. Appreciate that very much. Marlon Harrison is saying Bud is having a pancake feed on February 17th. He posted the flyer on Friends of First Sky Omaha. I appreciate that. Here's the flyer right here. B&B pancake feed is happening Saturday, February 17th. Put that on your calendar. I got to put everything on if it's a week away, it's going on the calendar. I'll forget all
Oh yeah,
about it.
oh
Put
yeah.
that on. I keep saying that. Put that on your calendar. Doors open at 8 o'clock. Breakfast from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. featuring Bud Crawford. He's going to be in the house. You can register at band. Oh, I can't see it. www.band Academy.
B&B Sports Academy.
That's a D. Got it. Okay.
B
B and
and
B
B.
bnbacademy.org. Got it.
Yep.
Oh, I could have just looked at the big version on the other screen here.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
bnbacademy.org. You got to register for this, but it is coming up on the 17th, 8 o'clock. A pancake feed that's featuring Bud Crawford. If you never met Bud Crawford, I suggest you go say hi. He's a nice dude. Cool guy.
Definitely approachable cat. And I'm kind of looking at the flyer. These ain't just Angel Mama box pancakes. It's the Pancake Man. If you don't know nothing about the Pancake Man, you missing out.
I don't know about the Pancake Man.
Man, the Pancake Man would come to school back in the day when I was in school. You know, we'd have had the Pancake Man come through and feed the fam. Yeah. Pancake Man get you right.
You know, he make a mean flapjack, huh?
Oh yeah, make a mean jack. Pancake Man.
That's what's up. All right, Pancake Man. I'm with it. Yeah, definitely go check that out. Also, I want to show this image right here. This is an artist, a black artist in town named Patty Talbert, one of my favorite artists in town. You see some of her work all up over everywhere. The reason why this is up, Nebraska Furniture Mart is doing it again, bro. They had so much success last year. They bringing the artists back. They had a whole section. You should have seen Nebraska Furniture Mart last year. You walk in Nebraska Furniture Mart, you got See's Candy on the left and all that, and then all of a sudden you saw this bright pop of yellow on the walls of this one section, and all this beautiful African art in there. Celeste Butler was part of this. Her art was in there last year. Patty Talbert's art was in there last year. And it's a trip, man. You stand there and look at that for 5 seconds, and you turn around and look at the rest of Nebraska Furniture Mart, and it looked like all the furniture was gray.
It's gray.
That's how much this color was popping. So shout out to them, man. You can we'll put some dates up on this, but I think this is happening all month of February. You can go to Nebraska Furniture Mart. You can use your Nebraska Furniture Mart card and buy some original art from some black artists out of North Omaha. So shout out to Nebraska Furniture Mart for doing that. Celeste Butler said to me, "It's important that we're in these kinds of spaces."
Mm-hmm.
And she's right. This made the paper. This was a huge deal last year. They're doing it again. They were very successful. They sold a lot of art to a lot of people who didn't know nothing about African art. So man, shout out.
Had to do it twice.
So I think this might even be their third time doing it. So shout out to Nebraska Furniture Mart, man.
Nice.
What's up? So nice to do it thrice.
Yeah, man. Get you a couch and a painting.
There you go. Malik Rogers in the chat. Does anybody know more about Councilwoman Harding's disrespecting Councilwoman Johnson at a meeting?
No.
Putting that question out there. Haven't heard about that. Interesting. Okay. This is something that's coming up as well. You should put this on the store of Zora Neale Hurston, one of my favorite writers.
Mm-hmm.
Spunk opens in the Shirley Tyree Theater on February 16th. If you guys haven't been to the Shirley Tyree Theater yet, let me tell you where it is. Union for Contemporary Art has been working on this for some years. It's finally open this year. Shout out to Shirley Tyree, who's a legend in town, and this is named after her. And so now we have a theater on the Deuce, 24th Street, right there.
Deuce.
And they already are starting some shows. So check it out. Put it on your calendar for February 16th. Of course, you can go to u-ca.org for tickets. That's Union for Contemporary Art. Their address is u-ca.org. Definitely check it out. Directed by Tracy Heather Strain. Produced by Randall McLaury. Zora Neale Hurston. Claiming a Space is an in-depth biography of. And go to Friends of First Sky Omaha and read the rest. So yeah, definitely check it out. I love how they're doing what they're doing over there at the Shirley Tyree Theater and the Union for Contemporary Art. That's what's up. That's what's up. Put that on your calendar for sure. Let's see here. That's about all the haps that I have right here. Don't forget, since this is the season to vote, Dr. Cornel West is running for president. We have more choices than Biden and Trump, which is what it's really going to come down to here. So, Dr. Cornel West is running 2024. Shout out to him for coming out to Omaha and speaking to us directly. If you missed that show, you can go to YouTube. You can go to YouTube and check out our conversation with him that we just had a few months back. Shout out to Anthony Rogers Wright, who is one of his campaign managers. That seems to be a regular on the show now here in the chat chimers. He's definitely a chat chimer now, so appreciate him very much for coming through and reminding us we got choices. We got choices, and
Yeah, man.
it's going to be up to use them. So that's what's up. Also, the OEAAs is coming up. First of all, the OEAAs is happening on February the 18th.
Yep.
At 6:30 at the Holland. Definitely check out the 18th annual Omaha Entertainment Awards. These are our partners that are doing some good work. They already are firing this up. So they got a reception. They got a visual art showcase happening. It's coming up at the Roberta and Bob Rogers Gallery, which is on Vinton Street. That's happening today from 5 to 9. So they're already starting to do some shows and ramp up to the award show. This is one that you can go check out. Some visual arts. There's going to be some artists that have been nominated for the awards that you'll be able to see over here. So definitely check it out. This is the opening reception for the OEAAs. It's the countdown. It's the second, and the OEAAs is on the 17th. So there's going to be some shows in between. And this is the first one, 18th annual OEAA Visual Art Showcase opening reception happening today at 5 o'clock at the Roberta and Bob Rogers Gallery on Vinton Street. So definitely go check that out as well. Shout out to the OEAAs for doing the good work. It's very important to have an award show in your town, so that you can have an opportunity to celebrate the artists that are doing the work today.
Man. Yeah. As an artist, it is always a pleasure to be recognized by your community, no matter how big or small. Just getting that recognition. A lot of artists are creating within the confines of their own homes or studios or wherever they are. So, let's support. Excuse me.
Hashtag kids be dirty.
Man, I'm trying to fight through this episode, y'all. You see it's a struggle. I can't breathe.
Tell your daughter quit sneezing in your face.
Man, 1 second you holding her, and it's just the most precious moment. You hugging her and holding her, and the next just all in your face.
Talking like a 50-year-old on cigarettes.
Man.
Real sweet 3-year-old.
Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me.
Anthony Rogers Wright says we will be back in March talking about Dr. Cornell West, and Anthony Rogers Wright. He said, mark it down. Listen. You already know. We have a sit down and a face to face this time, and make sure that we have a great conversation with him. We had one of the best conversations that we've had on this show yet. We couldn't believe how much that brother was us, man. He inspired the Love Supreme. He inspired this season for sure. So can't wait to speak to him again. Cornell West for president 2024. So
there you go.
Tamika Renee says support LB 1225 on February 8th at 1:30 in Lincoln. Here we go. Here's the call to action. February 8th. This is a good one for us to go check out. I can't remember what 1225 is.
Yeah, I'm looking for a comment. She laid it on us earlier.
Okay.
So give me 1 second as I search through this.
But here we are with Chad Chambers suggesting. Go ahead.
Yep. She says LB 1225, introduced by Senator Terrell McKinney, will be heard on February 8th at 1:30 in the Appropriations Committee. We need people to show up and testify. The North Omaha Community Partnership will have a van for those who need a ride. So there you go. Let's not have the sense to gas up a van for 2 people. If you are not able to go to Lincoln in person, please support online. So if you got to work, still no excuse. You can still be heard. She says we will post details of LB 1225 on Friends of First Sky. So yeah, not much information on what that bill is, but so definitely please let us know. But still, let's get out there, mobilize and support. If Sister Tamika is behind it, I know it's no small thing because she does not play. So yeah, let's get out there, support, and make sure she's not gassing up the van for 2 people.
Man, that's what's up. Appreciate that. This is exactly what we need right here. So if you got other bills that are important, you think aligns with everything we've been talking about here, and we need to get up there, let us know. Let's put this on our calendars. February 8th, 1:30. If we can make the trip, cool. You already know if we can't make the trip on February 8th, then you got to have a letter in by 8 o'clock that morning.
Yep.
For it to be considered in the actual session. So we'll talk more about it as it comes up. A shout out to Tamika Renee for putting that out there. Really appreciate that. I just looked at the clock, man. I didn't realize it was 9:09. I don't believe in the concept of time, but we believe in the concept of agreements. We agreed. We stop at 9. We just broke that agreement. We appreciate you guys hanging tough past the broken agreement. We apologize for that, but kind of got away from us today. But hey, you guys have a good weekend. Anything that you come up with that is something that we need to be checking out during the weekend as well, especially for something fun.
Yeah, man.
With this nice weather that we got going on, you might just want to stay home and barbecue in your backyard or something like that.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Shout out to Papa God.
That's what's up. So, but you guys take care of yourselves, and anything that you come up with, put in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We'll be checking it out. Continue the conversation over there, most definitely. Let's get out of here. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Yes. Big shout out to everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. First time listeners and last time listeners, we appreciate you for trying us out. Hopefully you do come back. In the meantime, between time, tell a friend, man. We are growing. Looks like more and more people are becoming aware of what we're doing with this show. So I love it. We're going to continue to do it. So hopefully you continue to spread the word. Also, Sister Tamika giving us a little background on that. So check that out in the chat, talking about appropriating some funds to keep some efforts going.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, the NOCP is doing some definitely good work. So let's make sure we're supporting each other. I say it and I will continue to say it. We all we got, but that's enough. We are all we have, but that's enough. Believe in people power, and you will see the fruition of that power, man. So we appreciate you. We love you. We thank you. Can't really breathe too much, so I'm gonna cut it short there. Catch the same time, same place. Y'all have a good weekend. Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away, man.
Hashtag kids be dirty.
Man, kids be dirty.
Pop says another absolutely awesome show. You two are extraordinary. Thanks, Pops. He says, thank you for all you do. Love you all and have a great weekend. Appreciate that. Brooke says, great show. Definitely appreciate you saying that too. She likes the background too. Said loves the painting in the background. Yeah, man. That's paintings by Orma Jean right there in the background. My grandmother. So we're always representing. Them paintings go with me everywhere. I don't care if I got nothing else I'm taking with me. Them paintings are coming with me.
Man.
Everywhere.
Beautiful.
Yep. Appreciate that very much. Thank you for everybody who has joined us. Shout out to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. We cannot do this show without you. This has been great conversation, just like we have all the time. If you miss any parts of the show, definitely go back and check it out on Facebook and YouTube and check the chat in both, because those chats are full of information, full of dates, full of all kinds of good information that we have here. We're going to try to figure out how to aggregate some of that information and make it a little easier for you to find. But in the meantime, go back and check out the show and check out the chats when you do. Appreciate that very much. Gwen Easter said, great show. It's okay that you ran over. Have a great day. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yep. And you guys have a good weekend. Really take care of yourselves this weekend. It's supposed to be nice weather out. Go out, get some sun on your face.
Yeah, man.
And and take care of yourselves. And we'll see you Monday.
Yeah. Hopefully I can breathe on Monday. We'll see.
No more kids coughing in your face. No more.
Yeah. Hugs to a minimum for a couple days.
Right on. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you Monday.
Peace.
By the way, Van Glorious. This is protected by the Red